Hello, welcome to Sarah's Stitchery. I'm Sarah and this is my Flosstube channel where I talk all about cross stitch. And today in particular, I'm going to be sharing my 2023 end of year WIP parade with you. So grab something to drink, grab a snack, grab your stitching, whatever you got to do, because I have a lot of things to show you today. So today is December 31st, 2023. It's New Year's Eve. And I figured this would be a great way to end the year and kind of have an inventory of all the things that I'm going into 2024 with. So I figured I'd start off first by sharing, sorry, I've already lost my notes here, by sharing some stats from 2023 with you. So I keep, sorry about my stuff here. This is my second time filming this video, because I was doing it before and my husband decided it was a great time to vacuum while I was filming. So I'm starting over. So my table's already a little bit of a mess. But anyway, let's talk about 2023. So I did a very good job this year of keeping up with my book of days. I wrote down everything I stitched this year, and I did a much better job of keeping notes of the things I stitched and what I started and what I finished. So out of the whole year, I stitched every single day this year except for 6 days. So not too bad. Not too bad at all. Now, in 2023, I started a total of 95 new projects. I am not going to be starting that many projects in 2024. Out of the 95 new things I started in 2023, I finished 36 of them. So while that's a lot of finishes, my start to finish ratio was not good for 2023. I did UFO, means I decided to take them out of my rotation. I did UFO but 7 projects that I had started in 2023. So this year in 2024, I want to be a lot more intentional about the things I'm starting. I'm going to start a lot less. Now, I don't have a particular number in mind of how many things I would like to start, and I certainly don't want to do a no new starts, because that sounds terrible. But I do want to bring my number of starts way down and increase my number of finishes. However, I did finish a lot in 2023. On top of the 36 finishes that I did of things that I started in 2023, I had a total amount of 42 finishes in 2023. So those 42 include things that were started prior to 2023. So that means that I'm starting 2024 with a total of 86 WIPs, 86 works in progress. So I really want to focus on bringing that number down in the new year. And to help with that, I'm going to be doing a 24 finishes in 2024 initiative, just to help myself get some progress and get some things done, because I really love my WIPs. I would really like to have them displayed in my house. And so instead of starting a bunch of new things, I really want to focus on finishing a bunch of things this year. So I will be showing you which 24 projects I have earmarked for finishes in 2024. And I'm going to save those for last. But otherwise, my WIPs that I'm going to show you today are not in any particular order. It's just whatever's within grabbing distance. I didn't put anything in order. If I can remember when I started something, I'll tell you, but I don't have them organized like that. So let's just dive right in. So, and I'm not going to show you all of the project bags and everything, because that could make this video really, really long. So I'm just going to dive right in and start with, I have a case here that I have a bunch of blue flower in. So if you have seen me before, you probably know that I love the blue flower. The blue flower is my favorite designer. And so I have several blue flower projects going. So the first one I'm going to show you is a blue flower project. It's called Forest Home. And also, if you know me, you know I love stitching animals. So I just love that deer. Oh my goodness, the deer. I love the chipmunk on the tree over here. I love that little beaver down there. So I am a top left starter. So I started this at the top left there where that waterfall is. I don't have much of a start on this one, unfortunately. This is stitched on a 40 count Seraphim Fabrics in the color Silver Lining. And I'm using all the called for colors, all the called for floss. None of my things are ironed. I was not about to iron 86 projects, so, but I'll try to show them as best I can. So you can see I started up there with that waterfall, and I've done a little bit of the border there. So that's it for that one. You'll also notice I stitch mostly 40 or 46 count. I really like stitching with one strand of floss over two. That's my preferred. So you'll see a lot of 40 and 46 count. I don't really like stitching with two threads. I just feel like my threads get tangled and not knotted, but twisted, and I railroad my stitches when I use two threads, and it just takes me longer. So anyway, that's just my personal preference. All right, this next one is also a blue flower. I started this for my friend Maggie's birthday. This came with the Hearts for Pam package from Cottage Garden Threads, and they're located in Australia. So you'll notice that the animals on this are Australian, and I noticed this heart too. I'm assuming that's the Australian flag there. That is so pretty, so colorful. My friend Maggie likes the blue flower too. So her birthday starts the last couple of years have been blue flower. And so I started this with her on her birthday. I only stitched it the one day on her birthday in November. So I don't have much of a start, but I'm stitching this on 40 count, A Very Perry Winter by Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. And I am using the Cottage Garden threads that came in the box along with the wooden floss organizer. So yep, there's that. These colors are very summer to me, so I'm assuming I'll probably pull this out again in the summer. I am very much a seasonal stitcher, so those colors just scream summer to me, so I can see myself pulling this out again in the summer. So that was Seasons of the Heart, Hearts for Pam. I don't know if I said that. And I'll try not to go too fast, but I also don't want this video to be so long either. And I am going to take the time to put things back in their bags and cases because I don't want to lose anything and get myself disorganized, because that could be disastrous. All right, again, another blue flower. This one is called Happy Campers. And look at that. I love that beaver and the porcupine up top there roasting marshmallows. I love the little, I'm guessing that's a dog and a fox there in a canoe. And the squirrels over here having their picnic at the picnic table. So cute. And I am stitching this on 46 count Old Mushroom by XG Design. I love fabrics by XG Design and Fox and Rabbit, so you'll see a lot of those while I'm showing you these to you today. Oops, hold on one second. Oh, dropping things. Okay, and again, like I said, I'm a top left starter, so I went ahead and got that border all the way around, and I did that tree there. I love those colors, and I started on this night sky scene over here. I love the Algerian islets. The only bad thing about being a top left starter is that I really want to stitch the animals, and then I kind of lose momentum because I'm stitching on the not as exciting parts of the chart, and then I kind of lose momentum because I'm bored. I should probably just be a middle starter, right? And get to the exciting stuff first, and then I'm just going to want to keep stitching and stitching. And I am using all the called for floss for that one. So it looks like there's some Weeks Dye Works and some Color and Cottons and some DMC. I typically will stick with the called for most things, unless I just don't like it, or unless somebody else has a better conversion and I want to steal their conversion. So there's that. And this next one is, again, another blue flower. This was my birthday start 2 years ago, I think. Well, let's see, when did this come out? This came out, I'm not saying a date. I think it was 2 years ago. It doesn't really matter. This is Moonlight Sampler. And I had started this on a like lighter color fabric. And I started up here in the top left corner. And I really wasn't liking how it was looking because my little white flowers were not showing up on the fabric I was stitching on. And so I decided just to stop stitching it and start over. In fact, hold on. This is actually part of what I'd stitched. I didn't want to like throw it away. So like you can see the white on that just was not showing up. So I decided just to take that owl that I had stitched and put him in a little hoop. That way I didn't have to like frog it and get rid of it. So he's on my wall. Sorry about that. So I decided I did want to start over, but I didn't want to stitch the whole thing because that's just a lot. So instead I decided that I was just going to stitch this part of it. So so you can see that's like the bottom here, but you can see that it was recharted to bring the border all the way around. And so that's what I'm stitching. So I restarted it on a darker piece of fabric that I'm loving. I don't have much done here, but I'm stitching this on 40 count Fiberlicious Queen Crepe Myrtle. And I think that's just looking so much better than it was on that light colored fabric. So I would really like to get back to that soon and get that done. And I'm stitching it with all the called for floss. So, all right, there's that. I love me some blue flower. Okay. Next I have, this is a Lindy Stitches. I believe I started this one in 2021. This is called Emily's House. I just love that giant goldish yellow house. I love the two moons and the cats on the roof here. So I am stitching this on a 36 count Picture This Plus Oaken, using all the called for. And for this one, I am stitching with one thread over two. I find that Picture This Plus, that the weave is tighter than other 36 count fabrics. And so I'm able to use one strand and be comfortable with the coverage, because a lot of times when I'm stitching with one strand on 36 count, I don't like the coverage as much, and I will often choose to use two strands on a 36, even though it can be a little tight. But this one is working out well with one strand on 36 count. And I'm using all the called for floss. So there's that one. This is fun. I love pulling out all my old WIPs and taking a look at them. And just because, and I know I mentioned already that these projects are not on my 24 by 24, because I'm going to show those last. But just because something's not on my 24 by 24 doesn't mean I won't touch it at all this year. Like I said, I finished 42 things last year. So, you know, my 24 and 24 projects will be priorities. But, you know, once I, you know, get some things done, I will have time to stitch on other things throughout the year. So, I'm not too sad looking at these things and knowing they're not on my 24 by 24, because it doesn't mean I won't touch them this year. Anyway, this next one was one of my birthday starts. I had 2 birthday starts this year, because why not? And this one I hadn't planned on starting. In fact, I'd never even heard of this pattern until I saw Lauren, the New Hampshire stitcher, stitching it. And I just fell in love because it's beautiful. So she is stitching the 3 Things sampler by Moira Blackburn. I got this on 1, 2, 3 stitch, and there's so much to it. It's just gorgeous. I love the saying. It says, 3 things there are that will never come back. The arrow shot forth on its destined track. the appointed hour that could not wait, and the helpful word that was spoken too late. I love that. I am stitching this on 46 count Rocky Mountain by XG Design. And it's charted completely in DMC, and I think the DMC colors are gorgeous. So I'm using the called for colors. And that's my start right there. Oh, it's just beautiful. I love it. So that was one of my birthday starts. The other one's coming up soon. I do want to get that done, but I don't think that one's getting done in 2024. That's a big one. Okay. This is one of my older WIPs. This is from like summer of 2021, I want to say. This is Lindy Stitch's Stars Bright. I love this. I love the saying. I love the birds. I love like the granny squares there. I love the saying. It says, we would be together and have our books, and at night be warm in our bed together with the windows open and the stars bright. Beautiful. I am stitching this on a 40 count Jody fabric. Jody from the Steel City Stitchers dyes fabric. She used to sell it. I don't know if she still does, but I picked up this piece at StitchCon a couple years ago, well, 2021, and decided it'd be perfect for this. The only thing I didn't quite consider was that my fabric is not cut straight. So I'm a little concerned as I bring this down that my margin's going to get smaller and smaller, but as I'm looking at this, I don't think it's going to be too bad because that's the bird's tail right there. So you can see it kind of cuts into this square, and then there's two more after that. So like 1, 2, 3, that'll probably bring me around here. My margin's going to get a little tight, but it's okay. Could be worse, right? But that's what I've got so far. I believe I'm using mostly the called for. I know I changed out a couple of colors because they weren't showing up so great on this blue. But I'm not very good about writing things down, so I'm sure once I get back to this, I'll have to figure out which ones I had switched out. Yeah. Because historically, I've not been very good about writing things down. I really want to get better about that. I did better this year, but I could still use some improvement in that area. Okay, this was my second birthday start for this year. My birthday was in October, and this is Forest Sampler by Hello from Liz Matthews. I believe this was a release last spring, and I just could not wait to start this. It is gorgeous. I love the colors. It's huge. This is not getting finished in 2024. But I am stitching this on, what is this? 40 count Hog Bristle by Fox and Rabbit. And that was the start I got. And I believe this, I believe this is all DMC as well. Yeah, I'm using all the called for, all the called for DMCs here. Sorry for my tangled threads. So that's what I've got on that so far. I just think that's so pretty. When she showed the model, when she did like her, reveal of her new releases back when that first came out, she showed the model on her channel and I just fell in love. Okay, this is another blue flower. I told you I have several blue flowers. This actually was given to me by a friend because she knows I love the blue flower. This is Autumn Bee. This actually came out this past fall. And it's charted all in Dinky Dyes, which I'm using all the called for Dinky Dyes. And I'm stitching this on, I believe it's 40 count Heather by Fiber on a Whim. Yeah. So I just think this is stunning so far. Got this beautiful flowers and the berries. And I'm starting on the wing there. I really want to get back to this one too. For me, even though it says Autumn Bee, those colors are just like summer colors to me. So I can see myself pulling this out again, like in spring and summer. And if you've never stitched with Dinky Dyes, they are so soft. I love them. So soft. And those colors are gorgeous. Okay, moving right along. All right. Okay, so this next bag, oh, sorry, I probably shouldn't put these all on the floor. This next bag holds 4 different charts because they all go together. This is the Salt Shaker series by Plum Street Samplers. So I've got all 4 seasons. I've got autumn, summer, spring, and winter. I haven't stitched either of the winter ones yet. I did stitch both of the spring ones and fully finish them as little pillows for my dough bowl. I stitched one of the summer ones this past summer, and then I have a teeny tiny start on this one for the autumn salt boxes. So I'm stitching this on 40 count antique lace by Seraphim Fabrics. Oh, I still have my summer one on here. That was the summer one I did, and that's my sad little start for autumn. So yeah, I need to get back to that. And I would like to start the winter. I didn't stitch the spring on this fabric, and I probably won't stitch winter on this fabric either, so I'll have to find a different fabric for those. And I'm using all the called for floss. Okay. In my next bag, in this bag, I have several patterns because I kitted up a lot of different ornaments that I meant to stitch this season. I did not stitch. But in here I have this pattern. This is a new one from Hands On Design. We got it at the Chantel's 141 design retreat in September, and we were gifted the finishing piece with it, so I really wanted to get that stitched this season, and I didn't. In fact, I have such a sad little start, I'm almost embarrassed to show you, but I'll show you anyways. I'm stitching this on the called for 32 count slate fabrics by Stephanie. I did mention I don't really like stitching on anything less than a 40, but I wanted to stitch it on the 32 count so they would fit on the finishing piece that we were gifted. So I think that's probably why I stopped, because I was stitching 2 strands of white, and I hate what my stitches look like anyways when I stitch white, but with 2 strands, oof. But I'll get back to it because I do want to get that finished. All right, this next one is a small start too. This was a recent start. This pattern was actually in the most recent Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. It's called Merry Little Christmas. It's a little pillow by Teresa Vinette from Shakespeare's Peddler. And I'm stitching it on 46 count Saltbush by Fox and Rabbit. And I did not get much of a start. I did the top border. And that's it. And like a few stitches into a letter there. I'm using all the called for floss. And that's that. Oh, kind of a few sad starts there. Ooh, a little depressing. But I do love them, so I do want to keep them in my rotation. I don't want to UFO them. And using all the called for floss for that too. All right. Again, thank you for being patient while I put things back in bags so that I don't get myself all disorganized. And for the zipping sounds. All right, this next one, also another small start. So this was a stitch along from Lola Crow Cross Stitch this season. She did a Creepy Christmas Village Sal, and it consisted of 6 different like creepy Victorian Christmassy ornaments. And I only started number 1. So the number 1 was the Creepy Carolers. You got these little ghostly carolers here. I'm stitching it on the called for fabric. The called for is 36 count Elephant Run by Fox and Rabbit. And I'm using all the called for DMC. And as you can see, I didn't get much of a start. I did get the outline, of the carolers, as well as a little bit of the outline of the snow at the bottom here, but that's it. So I'll get back to it next year. I am very much a seasonal stitcher, so now that Christmas is over, I probably won't stitch much more Christmas. So that'll definitely be a next year project. Okay. Oh, this one is in a bag that I made. I'm not much of a sewer, but I do okay. All right, this, oh, I don't know if I have, oh, hold on, I do, okay. So this was a free stitch along with Owl Forest Embroidery. It's called Alice in Wonderland. And here's a picture of the whole thing. So I think it's still free. If you go to Owl Forest Embroidery, I think you can still download this for free. It is huge, but I love it. I love Alice in Wonderland. So I still have a lot to go. I did start this one a while back too. I think this was also 2021. So I still have a lot to go. I am stitching it on a 32 count straw by Weeks Dye Works. I think this was before I started stitching on 40 count. So I think that's why I'm stitching it on a 32. I am using the variegated floss from Owl Forest Embroidery. And let me grab my board here. I just love this. I do want to get back to this at some point. It's not on my 24 and 24 because I knew it would be a lofty goal to try to finish this in 2024, but that's what I've got so far. I love that white rabbit. You can see I'm working on Alice over here. Yep, that's it so far. So I have a lot more to go on this one. I would like to try to make some progress on it this year though. I don't think I touched it at all in 2023, which is really sad. Very sad. I don't love that it's on a 32 count, but I'm not starting that over because that's a lot of stitching. So it's going to stay on the 32 count. And that's okay. All right. Oh, let me pull these over here. I'm trying to keep myself somewhat organized. Okay. All right, this next one I started last year. I want to say last January or February. This is called Brick House Sampler by With Thy Needle and Thread. I wanted to stitch it because I saw Jessica from Sweetwater Stitcher stitching it. And I believe I'm stitching this on 40 count flannel flower. Let's see if I wrote that down. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's Flannel Flower by Fox and Rabbit. And, well, the needle's coming out. I don't have a huge start on this. I did start in the middle on this one. Usually I'm a top left starter, but I started in the middle on this one. I guess I wanted to get to that red brick house, and there it is. Actually, that's interesting. It's called Brick House Sampler, but it doesn't really look like bricks. Anyway, that's what I've got. So I love it. I just haven't stitched on it in a while, which is kind of sad. I think I'm mostly using the called for colors on that one too. Okay. This next one is a 2023 start as well. This is Love Boat Sampler, the Love Boat Sampler by Ardith Design. That's so pretty. I am stitching it on a 40 count. I want to say this was a color from my Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers club. Just looking to see if I have it written down. I don't think I do. Told you I'm not so good at writing things down, but I'll do better. But I am using, I believe, all the called for DMCs. And I just think this is so pretty. I love, like there's little touches of blue in the fabric. And that's what I've got. I did a center start on that one too. Not sure why some things I do a center start and other things I don't. Because usually I'm a top left starter. Maybe because, now that I'm looking at it. No, I was going to say, there is a border up at the top left. I don't know. I guess I just decided I wanted to start in the middle on that one. Sometimes there's no rhyme or reason to me. Okay. This is a recent start. I believe I started this in October. This was a newer release this fall by Pedal Pusher. It is called Troublemakers. My friend Allison showed this to me and I was like, I gotta stitch that immediately. It is so cute. Look at this crow down here eating the pumpkin. Love the colors. So I did start this one. And that's as far as I got. Let's see, what is this fabric? This fabric is, this is Picture This Plus Tyco 40 count. And I am using all of the called for DMCs. That one's so cute. All right, so I finished everything that's in this chair over here. Let me get myself organized 1 second. All right. Okay, finished everything over there. Now I've got a cart sitting next to me, so I'm gonna kind of pull that a little bit closer to me. And I'm just gonna pull things off of the cart. All right, this one I started last spring, I believe. This is a Lindy Stitches. I don't think I've seen anyone else stitching this. I could be wrong, but I love it. It is called Little Brown Bird. It says, little brown bird with breast of red, fly back to me, for winter is dead. I just love the colors. I love the sentiment. I love that fabric. I think I'm stitching it on called for fabric. Yes. So it calls for Sea Spray Linen by Seraphim Fabrics. I'm stitching mine on a 40 count using all the called for floss. And that's where I got. It's so pretty. So you can see I've got my thread there. I must have just been stitching in the middle of stitching and then stopped for whatever reason, but I definitely want to get back to this one at the end of winter. I love that one. Sorry, I'm going to say that about everything. I already told you. Of course I love it. I wouldn't be stitching it if I didn't, right? Oh, I did show this one recently, I think on my last video. This is also a Lindy Stitches. This is Peppermint Candy. That was a release, an exclusive last year for Jingle Ball, and she released it this year. I'm stitching it on 40 count brick powder by XG Design using all the called for floss, and that's where I'm at. That's a fun one too. I just love Lindy Stitches. I think her designs are so whimsical. They're a little quirky, they're colorful, they're fun to stitch. All right. Okay, next I have, I think this one's kind of a small start. This one's a Teresa Kogut, Our Humble Homestead. I love those colors. I am stitching this on Needle Bling Butter Crunch 40 count. Using all the called for. Oh, this is a sad start. Top left. Oh, that's sad. Now that fabric is getting really washed out. Let's see if I hold it back here. Yeah, it's looking a little more buttery. Think of whatever you think butter crunch would look like, and that's what this fabric looks like. It's a lot. It's getting really blown out on camera. It's a very buttery color. I love it. All right. I have several Teresa Koguts in my WIPs that I really want to work on this year. All right, this one is called Winter Comes. This was a start last Christmas. I didn't work on it at all this year, unfortunately. It's by Heartstring Samplery, and you can see that there's like two versions. There's this one with the words, and then this one with just the scene. I decided to stitch this one, but I'm stitching in on the darker fabric. So stitching this on Picture This Plus Dusk 36 count using 1 strand over 2. And that's all I got done last year. Like I said, I haven't touched it this year, unfortunately, because it's beautiful. I do know that I switched out the colors for this one. So I'm using a Color and Cotton Good Cheer. I'm using a Color and Cotton Jolly Suit. A Color and Cotton Snowflake. I'm using a Fiberlicious color in the color Dreamscape. I don't know if the rest of these are called for or not. Got Gentle Arts Green with Envy, Gentle Arts Soot, Weeks Dye Works Amber, Weeks Dye Works Havana, and Weeks Dye Works Molasses. So I know for sure the Color and Cottons were not charted for this, so I know I switched those out myself. Probably just because I wanted to use some of my Color and Cottons. Because it's silly to have floss that you're not using, right? Okay. Okay, so in this bag I have a few different charts. Now these are from Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery. It is the Houses on Peppermint Lane series. There's 9 of them. I am stitching Cranberry House, so this is number 5 in the series. And unfortunately, I didn't get to this at all this year either. I started this last year. It's gorgeous. I'm stitching with all the called for Weeks Dye Works on Atomic Ranch Weatherstone 40 count. Dog hair on it. There we go. And that's all the farther I got with it. That's so sad. But that fabric is gorgeous. Look at that fabric. Ooh. So I did choose a bigger piece so that I could stitch other ones. I don't know that I'll stitch all 9 of them, but I do have Christmas House in here, so I know I'll at least stitch those 2, if not more. So there's that. This is another reason I just want to get my WIP count down, because it's so sad to see all these amazing projects sitting here that aren't being worked on. That's terrible. All right, I do have to show this because that's my stitching. I had started Away We Ride a while back on this murky 32 count. I wasn't loving it on the 32 count, so my friend Tammy from Tammy Blaylock, Creative Country Girl Designs, she made this for me using my stitched piece that I was abandoning. So, of course, it's housing my Away We Ride, my restart. This is by Blackbird Designs. And I am stitching this on a 40 count Picture This Plus in the color Ancient, using all the called for floss, and that is my restart. So I need to get back to that because I love this pattern, and I am loving stitching it with 1 strand over 2. And also in this folder, I have another project. This one is, if I can get it out of here. This one is Jenny Bean's Halloween Sampler. I got this 2 summers ago when I went to Las Vegas. I went to Stitcher's Paradise and I bought this there. I like the saying. It says, "When I am dead and in my grave and all my bones are rotten, if this you see, pray think of me, or I will be forgotten." I'm stitching this on one of my favorite fabrics. This is Grandpa's Sleeve by X2 Design. This is a 40 count, and I'm using all the called for Gentle Arts floss. And I love this. Look at that fabric. Oh, it's perfect. I think I did work on this just a little bit this year, but I didn't make a whole lot of progress, unfortunately, but I'm just loving it on Grandpa's Sleeve. If you get a chance, get yourself some Grandpa's Sleeve. It's perfect, especially for Halloween stitching. And I love that I got the limited edition Gentle Arts sampler threads. Now it'll give you, the pattern will have like the regular like ones too. But I love that this limited edition has names, you know, that are kind of spooky. So you've got Nightmare. This one is called Zombie Flesh. Burial Ground. I like this one, Dried Blood. That's fun. Yeah, so when I bought it at Stitcher's Paradise, I was able to get the limited edition thread pack. Oh my gosh, my husband's downstairs using the dust buster now. I hope you guys can't hear that. What has gotten into this man? Vacuuming and dust busting? What in the world? What in the world? Anyways, next I have Hello Halloween by Teresa Kogut. And yes, I'm stitching this whole thing. No, I have not made very much progress. In fact, I didn't even touch it this year, unfortunately. I'm stitching this on Fiber on a Whim Buttermilk 40 count. I got a whole lot more to do. That's all I've got. Just that part of the border and that little cat. Using all the called for floss. Moving along. I hope you guys can't hear that dust buster. I'm sorry if you can. Okay, now this one is, I love this pattern. I'm sure you've seen this. The Pumpkin House by Hello from Liz Matthews. I got this, so this just came out this past fall. I got it the year before in a Halloween box from Shakespeare's Peddler, but I didn't start it until this year. So I'm a little perturbed with myself because, oh, and I used Tiger Lily's Forbidden Fiber Co. Floss conversion. Which is just like the same colors, but just punched up a little bit. So here's why I'm perturbed with myself. So I started both the part on the blue, the house on the blue, and then the pumpkins down there on the lighter color fabric. So I'm stitching the house on 40 count Circe by Fabrics by Stephanie. So that's all I got of the house. But I made a lot more progress with the bottom. And then I realized, because I was like, wow, this looks really small. That's because I'm stitching this on a 46 count. What was I thinking? You want to stitch them both obviously on the same count because they have to be put together. I'm so annoyed with myself. I don't know what in the world I was thinking the entire time I was stitching this. So I either have to start this over or start this over. I don't have anything else to say about that except that I have problems. I don't know why it took me so long to realize that I was stitching those on 2 different counts of fabric. Not my finest moment. Anyway, moving on. Okay, this next one I started last year too. This is Stitch with Coffee Designs Trick or Treat 2022. I love those cats. I love that, oh, what is that thing called? A trellis or whatever? With the little skulls and the eyeballs and the candy corns. I didn't touch this one this year either, sadly. Oh, what fabric am I stitching this on? I don't know if I wrote it down. I know it's an Under the Sea. I just couldn't tell you what color it is. And that's what I got. So I got a lot more to do. It's kind of washing out, but this is like a purpley, there's like blue, gray modeling in it. So I do love this. I'll get back to it. Pretty sure I'm using all the called for DMCs for this one. It's so cute. I'll get back to it. Sounds like my husband has stopped dust busting. I don't know why he thought that, because I told him don't be vacuuming while I'm filming. I don't know why he thought the dust buster was a better choice. Or like, what in the world he's cleaning? Like, is he making a mess down there? Like, my house is not that dirty right now. We did a big cleaning before the holidays, so I don't know what's gotten into him down there. Anyway, the next one I have, I didn't work on this one at all this fall either. I started it last year. This is Tiny Modernist Halloween Crystal Ball. It was a 3-part mystery series, so you have to buy all 3 parts, but in the end it looks like this. And like I said, I started this last year. What am I stitching it on? I don't know because I didn't write it down. That's where I'm at, though. I know it's a 40 count because I'm stitching 1 over 2, and I am using all the called for colors, but that's all I got done, sadly. So, geez, I have a lot of sad starts. This WIP parade's kind of depressing me a little bit. Hopefully I can get to some things that have a little more progress. Again, that's why I'm doing this 24 and 24, right? Getting some finishing, getting some progress. This one's another sad start. And this is Midnight Watch by Blackbird Designs. I started this, I want to say 2021. It was a while back. So, which makes it even sadder because I barely have anything stitched on it. This is, I know it's a 40 count. I believe it's 40 count Veteris by Fiber on a Whim. And that's upside down. There we go. I just have the door and part of a window. So I am using all the called for. I believe they're all, well, no, there's like Weeks Dye Works. There's Gentle Arts. Looks like there's some DMC there too. I'm pretty sure it's all called for. All right. And this one is my Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. You've probably seen this. It's amazing. It's huge. And I haven't touched this one in quite a while. This is the same fabric that I just showed you that Midnight Watch is on. Again, it's called, I don't know, it's Veteris or Veteris, Veteris, by Fiber on a Whim. And that's all I've got. So I have the first one finished and I've started on the second block, and that's where it's been at for quite a while. I'm using all the called for DMC. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. All right. Let me put these all back on this shelf here, and then we'll start on the next shelf. I've got one of these like 3-tiered shelves here. So that was the top shelf. I told you it was going to be kind of a long video. There's a lot to show here. Okay. This next one, hold on. Trying to keep myself somewhat organized so I don't have a huge mess to clean up when I'm done, because that can be a little disheartening. All right, there's that. Okay. All right. This next one I started last Christmas, and I did not get much done at all. Another really, really sad start. This must be my shelf of sad starts. This was a Modern Folk Embroidery Evertote and Leo and Roxy Co. Collaboration called the Moonshine Cabin. I believe it came out last year. I love it. I'm using the called for 40 count Night Owl linen from Leo and Roxy. I believe it's just called Roxy Flosstube now. I did a center start, and that was all I did. I believe this was, I think I started this last year for my 12 by 12. Apparently I did not stitch much that hour. I think I started that then, I'm not sure. And I am using all the called for, again, these are Leo and Roxy flosses, but it's just called Roxy Floss Co. now. But I am using all the called for floss that came with the pattern and the fabric. Okay, next I have, okay, this one's not such a sad one. This is from Barbara Anna and Netka Designs. It's called Madame Butterfly. Oh, I love those colors. I am stitching this on Forbidden Fiber Dovetail 36 count. I am using all the called for DMCs. And here we are. And that's where I got to. Oh, those colors. So, like I said before, the bright colors are summer to me, so I will definitely be pulling this back out this summer and putting some more stitches in this because I love it. It's gorgeous. So pretty. I love Barbara Anna Designs. I need to stitch more of her stuff. Okay. All right. Oh, this was from the Needlework Expo 2022, where they partnered with the Cottage Garden Threads for the X Stitch the Rainbow. So like they had 4 different flosses that were dyed by Cottage Garden Threads, and then a bunch of different designers designed patterns to be stitched with these colors. And so the theme was Autumn Garden that year. And so this was a free chart that I got from Needlework Expo from the Blue Flower. So I'm just gonna, it's called Blanket Flower. There's not like a cover image. And this is as far as I got. Kind of sad. I need to finish that. And I'll probably just make it into a little pillow. So I should have put that on my 24 and 24. That would be an easy finish. Again, not that I can't still finish it, even if it's not on my 24 by 24. It's just not on my list. So, but I should definitely pull it out and finish it. I have some other patterns that I got that go with that color palette, but I don't think I started any other of those. All right, this one is, oh, I love this one. Okay, so this is from the Blackbird Designs book, A Heart Remembers, and I am stitching these 2 panels here. And I was totally inspired by an Instagrammer named Lainey Main. She had stitched it and she totally changed all the colors and she like brightened them up, and I was like, oh, I want to do that too. So I decided to just like pull out a bunch of colors that I love and just go to town. And that's what I did. So here's my color palette first of all. Oh my goodness, look at these. So definitely not colors you would think of like for a Blackbird Designs pattern, but again, I decided I was just going to go crazy and just pull out some colors and throw them on a ring and see what happens. So I am stitching this on Mystic Fabrics Pearl 40 count. And I'm just kind of plugging colors in here and there wherever I like them. And this is what I've got so far. I love it. And I love, I'll pull it up closer. I love those Algerian islets and the grapes. So yeah, I'm just, like I said, pulling colors and plugging them in wherever I like them and just making it my own. So I appreciate the inspiration from Lainey Main and all the inspiration I get from seeing people on Instagram and Flosstubes, like, you know, because, you know, you think about like, duh, I can change colors on anything I want, but sometimes until you see somebody else do it, you don't really think about it that much, you know? especially like changing them like so drastically. Like, you know, like, yeah, you can, you know, sometimes, you know, I'll change colors like, oh, I don't think that red is bright enough. I'm going to choose a brighter red or whatever. But like full on like changing the color palette like that, like I don't do that very often. So that's a really fun project, just to plug in colors where I like them. Okay, this next one, oh, I had just kitted this one up for my mom. I gave it to her for Christmas. This is Spring Moon by Plum Street Samplers. Got that giant bunny up there on top of the house and this giant like bee skep here next to the house. And I am stitching this, oh, I know I'm stitching it on 40 count baked clay by Fox and Rabbit. Yes. And that's all I've got. I've got that flower basket on top of the house with one flower and leaf. So I got a lot to go still. Maybe my mom and I could stitch it together now that she has it too. And I'm using, I know I'm using all the called for flosses. So it's got like Weeks Dye Works, Classic Color Works, DMCs. So there's that one. Oh, okay. So this next one is from my friend Allison. She is Mrs. AZ Family Zoo on Instagram. And she's AZ Family Zoo on Etsy, Instagram, and Flosstube. If you haven't checked her out, you really should. I've mentioned her before. She and her husband live in Arizona, where they have an animal sanctuary at their home where they rescue and give forever homes to animals who have special needs and healthcare needs. And so she designs patterns that she sells on her Etsy shop, as well as other things she makes. And all of the money that she makes from her Etsy goes directly to caring for the animals. And whenever you purchase a cross stitch pattern from her, she will show a picture and she'll give a description of one of the animals that she has there at her home that they've rescued. So anyway, she has a squared series in her shop that has different like seasonal and different just patterns in the shop, in the series, I should say. And this is one of them. This is called Love to Stitch Squared. And that's what it looks like right there. This right here was her little Chihuahua Daisy. Unfortunately, Daisy passed, I want to say over the summer, maybe last spring. But there's a picture of Sweet Daisy there. And so I am stitching this on, oh, I don't remember what this fabric was. I don't know, but it must be, I'm assuming it's a 32 count because I'm using 2 strands, but that's all I've gotten. But her patterns stitch up pretty quick, and it looks like I'm choosing my own color palette as well. So yeah, that's all I've got. I need to pull that back out. That's sad that I haven't finished that. And yeah, it looks like I've chosen some different colors here. I've stitched several of hers. I know I stitched, there was a dog one. I know I stitched the Christmas one. There was a Halloween one. They're fun to stitch up and easy to finish. So there's that. This is, oh, this was a release last year. I believe it was an exclusive through Kitten Stitcher, maybe? Not sure. Oh yeah, it says it right here. A Kitten Stitcher exclusive, January 2023. It's called Big Folk Flower from Teresa Kogut. And it came with the fabric, maybe the floss. And the fabric is, what is this? Oh, it's 40 count dark mocha by XG Designs. And that's all I've gotten so far. I definitely want to pull that back out though. I have noticed that I am starting to struggle a little bit with stitching on like darker fabrics. I've been very fortunate up until this point that my eyesight's been pretty good. I don't use any type of light or magnification, but I am noticing I'm starting to struggle a little bit. So I just had my husband add me to his vision insurance this year. And so I am going to go to the eye doctor soon, and we'll see about maybe getting some glasses or something, but I could help myself out and use a light too. I have one, I just don't use it. Silly. This is another Teresa Kogut. This is called Remember Me. It's a beautiful sampler. And I am stitching it on 46 count needle and flax in the color Thornfield. I believe I am using all of the called for floss. Looks like I've got, I'm using all the called for DMCs. So here's what I've got so far. Another sad start. That's it. Part of the house, part of the door. So I need to get back to that one because it's gorgeous. And that fabric. That is a shame. All right. We're getting there, folks. We're making some progress here. All right, this next one is called Martha Evans 1879 by the Scarlet House. And I am stitching this one with the Vicki Clayton silks. So I've got them all in a little box here that a lovely viewer sent me. And they just come on these little spools, and they're so pretty. And they're so soft. I love using them. This is my first and only time using Vicki Clayton silks. Oh, what is this fabric? I'm almost positive this is a needle and flax, but apparently I did not write it down. But that's what I've got so far. So as you can see, I've been working on the border, and that's it. This is a definite that I want to get back to because I am going to be changing this one. I want to do this as a remembrance sampler for my granny. So I'll be changing the name, of course, and changing the verse in here to something that will be, you know, in remembrance of my granny. So I will definitely be getting back to that one. It's not on my 24 and 24 because I don't know that that's something I could finish in 24, but I definitely will be working on that one. So, all right. Almost done with the second shelf on this 3-tiered shelf here. Here's another Teresa Kogut. This one is called Nature. Oh, I love the colors in this one. And I love those big quirky birds up there. I am stitching this. Oh, what is wrong with me? I don't write anything down. I have no idea what this fabric is, but it's beautiful. And that's what I got. I can't believe I didn't write any of this down. I know it's a 40 count. I don't know, like, I think to myself, like, oh, I won't forget. Really? Who am I kidding? Apparently myself. Apparently myself, because I did not write that down anywhere. Okay. I'll have to do better from here on out. I can't go back and change the past, right? Okay, in here I have the Mad for Plaid series from Hands On Design. And I started spring. Another really sad start. I am stitching this on the 32 count Fabrics by Stephanie Slate. because I did purchase the finishing piece from Chantel's 141 design, and so I wanted to make sure it would fit on there. So, and I am using all of the called for Cosmo flosses. These are so bright and brilliant. I had never used Cosmo floss until stitching this. And again, I think I stopped on this because I don't like using 2 threads. And I was stitching with white. When I start stitching with 2 threads in white, I'm done. Which is really sad because I need to get back to this because it's gonna be beautiful. And because I bought the finishing piece. So stop being so picky. All right. Another Teresa Kogut. I told you I had some Teresa Kogut in here. Oh, I've loved this one for so long. This is called For the Love of Nature. And so of course I have it in my coordinating bag. For the Love of Nature by Teresa Kogut. That's what it looks like. This one came out in 2021. I am stitching this on Parchment by Fiber on a Whim, 40 count. And it is so pretty. And I am using all the called for floss. And that's all I got done. This is why I need to stop starting so many things. Okay. And this one is Jenny Bean's Friendship Sampler by Shakespeare's Peddler. I love the Jenny Beans series. That's what that one looks like. It says, Tell me, ye knowing and discerning few, where I may find a friend both firm and true. It's so pretty. I am stitching that on 40 count Vanilla Cream by Atomic Ranch. And that's where I got to. All right, finished off that shelf. I told you this was my shelf of sad starts. I did not do that on purpose. It just happened that way. All right, let me put these back on the shelf and then I'll pull from the next shelf. Oh. So at least I've got a lot of content for this video, right? A lot of things to show for this video. And I'm hearing a dog at the door. Will you excuse me 1 minute? I'm not going to edit this out, so just excuse me for 1 minute. I'm going to get my dog. No? Oh. Either I'm hearing things or she went away. Anyway. All right. Oh, the bottom shelf here. I have... Oh, I love this one. Plum Street Samplers Live on Little. This was a restart for me. I had started it on a different piece of fabric and I was not loving it. It did not look very good. So I did restart this. I want to say I restarted it this summer. I'm stitching this on 46 count Dirt Track by Fox and Rabbit. I am using all the called for flosses. So it's got some Weeks Dye Works, some DMCs. Yeah, the colors are gorgeous. I am using these adorable floss drops from my friend Jessica, the Sweetwater Stitcher, and using this adorable floss ring that she gave me to go with it too. So thank you, Jessica. She stitched hers. Did she finish hers? I feel like she finished or she got really close. But here is mine. See, this isn't such a sad one. But that's how far I got on that. So I definitely want to get back to this. But again, it's a big one. Oh, I love this fabric. Look at that fabric. Dirt Track. Oh my goodness. I did just order myself some more of this fabric because I love it so much. Definitely know that I can make some good progress on that this year, but I don't know that I'll get a finish on that. That's why it's not on my 24 and 24. All right, next we have a Brenda Gervais, Every Opening Flower. I love this one too. I love them all. Seen a lot of people stitching that one. A lot of people finished this one. This is on a 46 count Thornfield by Needle and Flax. And that's where I'm at with that one. Again, that fabric, ooh. So I definitely want to get back to that one too. I just need to like quit my job and stay home and stitch. Sure, that won't be a problem. Oh, so I kitted this one up this summer when I went to the attic in Arizona, and I picked up this chart. It's called Matter's Choice by Carriage House Samplings, and I decided that I was going to try a 56 count fabric. This is my first 56, first and only 56. This is in the color Ragamuffin by Tabby Cat. And I'm using a Tudor silk color called Aubergine. And this is hard. I don't have much going on here because it's really hard to see. But that's the width of it right there. I love the fabric. Look at that. So there's my silk. It's like a really, 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 really dark purple. It's gonna look amazing. But that's one I have to like sit in the sunlight to do, to be able to see, because the holes are so tiny. Like I said, I just need to like use my light and my magnification. I don't know why I fight it so much. Anyway, there's that one. Okay, this next one was a start that I did this summer. This was a free chart that I got from Liz Matthews. I don't even know that it has a name. It's this heart, and it's got these little flowers in it. And so I decided I wanted to stitch mine in red, white, and blue. So I'm stitching it on Picture This Plus Dwarf 40 count fabric. And that's what I did so far. So I definitely want to get back to that. It was just some flosses that I pulled. On my ring here. So I've got some color and cottons. I've got a DMC. I've got some Roxy Flosco colors. And some classic color works. So just some colors I pulled that I thought would look good together. But of course, since I'm using red, white, and blue, once the 4th of July season was over, I was like, okay, done with that. Okay, next I have, oh, my hands across the sea, Amanda Malviny Brown. I just love those colors. Let's see, the colors I'm using are all, I'm using all the DMC. I know they're the called for colors because I think the called for are just stunning. And I'm stitching this on a Needle and Flax 36 count dirty teacup. And I think, let me look. I am using 1 over 2. So that's where I got with that. I love that. That's so pretty. I think that's my one and only Hands Across the Sea. I do want to do more, but I haven't, and I have a couple more in stash, but I haven't started them, and I won't be starting them anytime soon. Okay. Oh, this was a restart this year for me. This is another Owl Forest embroidery pattern. This is also a freebie. It's called 100 Owls. And there are 100 owls in this chart. So I had done this before and I stitched this guy in the middle, but I was stitching it on a 32 count. I didn't like it on the 32 count, so I decided to start over, and I wasn't crazy about my fabric either. So I started over on Atomic Ranch Pistachio 40 count. I am using all of the called for Owl Forest embroidery variegated flosses that I ordered from Owl Forest. And I had started this back in 2021, but I restarted it this year with my friend Allie Z. We were doing, I think she's still doing, we were doing Owl Forest Fridays. I started off well, and then I just kind of stopped, but there's my restart. I decided to start top center there, and that's what I've got so far. I think the variegated flosses just add so much dimension to this. But out of 100 owls, I've got 5 stitched, so 95 to go. Right? Oh, sorry for the itchy nose. As I'm pulling all these out, I'm getting like fibers floating around or something. I don't know. And this, I have to show you this bag because it's one of my favorites. This was one from Painted Leaf Co., which my mom made. Oh, I just love this. It's one of my favorite bags ever. And it's perfect for that project. All right, next, oh, this is a small start. This is Winter Rose, nope. Yeah, it is. Winter Rose Manor by Blackbird Design. Nope. With I Needle and Thread, goodness gracious. And I started this last year, I want to say. It is on a mystery fabric. I bought it from Keepsakes, but it wasn't labeled, so we didn't know what fabric it was, but we're pretty sure it's a fiber on a whim. And that's all I've got. That's definitely a sad start. I have pulled all of the called for flosses. Not sure I'm crazy about that shade of pink for that house, but we'll see. We'll see what I'm thinking when I get down to that part. I have a while till then. All right, let's see. Next I have Santa Stops Here by Brenda Gervais with I Needle and Thread. I didn't work on this at all this year. I am using all the called for floss. So there's DMCs, there's Weeks Dye Works. The colors are beautiful. And I have just been stitching on that house, the candy house. I need to get to like a colorful part of it, because that's kind of boring. But that's what I worked on last year, so. I don't know the fabric. I didn't write it down, but I'm assuming it's a 40 count because I'm stitching 1/2. All right. Oh, let me just grab these. Whew. Okay, next I have oh dear, I got this on the freebie table at Chantel's 141 Design Retreat. So cute. In fact, I think a lady named Vicky said she put it on the table. So thank you, Vicky. I am using the called for DMCs. It only calls for what, 5, 6 colors? And I am stitching this on, I believe this is a 32 count color and cotton fabric. I think I have this one written down. No, Under the Sea Winterbrook. It's a oh, you might be able to see it's an opalescent. That's all I've got done though. It's a lot of solid stitching, but I do want to get back to that because it's so pretty. I just like how it looks like the classic, you know, Rudolph. All right. Next I have, I believe this is, okay, so this is a WIP by Needle and Thread at Home. Another amazing sampler from WIP by Needle and Thread. I'm stitching this on 46 count XG Design Old Mushroom. Again, another top left start. That's what happens. I start in the top left, I do some border, and I get bored and I stop. Maybe that's just something I need to change in 2024. When I start new things, start in the middle so that I won't get bored and I won't stop. Okay. Next I have this Happy Morning, and I'm stitching the dark version. I didn't touch this at all this year either. I'm stitching this on Fox and Rabbit Black Swan, and I'm using all the called for DMCs, Weeks Dye Works, and Classic Color Works. Very pretty colors. Did I say what fabric? Yeah, I did. Well, that's all I did. That's disappointing. Okay, now this bag has several things in it because I was part of the Life is Just a Bowl of Cross Stitch club from Pine Needles this past year. And so like you got these monthly kits that had 2 charts in each one, 2 monthly charts, and then it came with all the stuff that was in the bowl here. And we got the bowl at the beginning of the year. And so I know I stitched February last year and I stitched May, and that was all. So I have all of them kitted up and in this one bag, but I only have 2 like on the go. So I did start this one with this little girl here for March. I'm stitching it on Bee Stitch Me 36 count coconut shell using all the called for DMCs, and that's where I got. So I need to get back to that. And also I started on the October I started on this long one here, and I made pretty good progress with that one, but I didn't finish it. That's where I got with that one. So I need to keep working on it. And this fabric was Seraphim Finian 32 count. So I definitely need to get back to my Life is Just a Bowl of Cross Stitch patterns this year. I did not sign up for the 2024 Pine, is it Pine? I guess it's Pine Mountain Designs. I did not sign up for their 2024 club since I did so terrible with keeping up with the 2023 club. All right, we are down to the last cart, guys. And that means we are also down to my 24 and 24 picks. Oops, I've got 3 more that I have to show you before I show my 24 and 24. These are more recent ones, so you have seen these recently. In fact, I know I just showed this one on my last video, The Light of Winter by Brenda Gervais. I didn't make any other progress on it since I showed it last, but I'll pull it out for you. And that's where I got to. I am stitching this on 40 count Bria by Needle and Flax, using all the called for floss. I love it. I think I did do a better job this winter, this Christmas season, of like focusing on things instead of flitting from one thing to another. I did get some good finishes done this year. Oh, I did pull this one out. I haven't shown it lately. This was one of my 12 by 12 starts last year. It is Cardinal Kin, and there's 2 different colorways. I am doing the more vibrant one, this one here. And I just have the smallest start. This is Paper Bark by Fox and Rabbit 40 count, and that's all I've got. So I do want to work on that some more during this winter season. It's not on my 24 by 24, but it is something that when I get my 24 by 24 stuff done, I would like to pull back out and work on. And then I have 3 more, and then I'll show you my 24 and 24. So this first one is another Jenny Bean. This is Jenny Bean's Christmas sampler. I didn't get to work on this at all this year. So I just have the little start that I did last year. This is on 40 count Tyco. Picture this plus. That's all I did. So I definitely want to get back to that one using all the called for flosses. Now these other 2 I have worked on. I haven't added any more to this than what I showed you in my video the other day. This was my Noel sampler, Brenda Gervais, using all the called for DMC. This one's completely kitted in DMC, or completely charted in DMC. It's an older chart from 2013, and this is where I'm at with this. I'm also stitching this on 40 count Tyco from Picture This Plus. And that's where I got to. So, like I said, I just showed that in my last video. So if you watched my last video, you already saw it. And then finally, in this pouch, I have added to this one since you saw it last. I did show this the other day in my video. This is Dasher and Dancer by Hobby House Press. And I was just going to town on this the other night. I'm just loving this one so much. My friend Sarah W, Handmade by Sarah W, she is the one who started this one and inspired me. And I was like, I got to get that because it's gorgeous. And so this is where I made so much progress since I showed it to you last. So since I showed it to you last, I finished this motif. I did this motif and I did this motif. I added this little thingy here, and I added more letters and more of the border. So I was just having so much fun with this. This is being stitched on 46 count Cream and Sugar by Fiber on a Whim, using Roxy Floss in the color Cabernet, which is perfection. And I'm just loving it. Sarah is kind of hosting an impromptu Sal, because so many people joined in and stitching this. And so she's using the hashtag Dash and Dance Sal. So if you're stitching this along with us, make sure you use that hashtag and make sure you tag Sarah in that. Okay, now, finally I'm going to get to my 24 and 24. So these are the 24 projects that I definitely want to finish in 2024. Speaking of Sarah W, she gave me the great idea of breaking my stitching down into quarters. So, you know, choosing six WIPs to focus on each quarter. That way it kind of breaks it up a little bit and doesn't make it seem as overwhelming. So I have chosen my 6 for the first quarter, and the rest I haven't like scheduled. So I'll decide when I get through the first 3 months, I'll decide what 6 I'm going to focus on for the next quarter of the year. So I will start with, let me pull my cart over here. I will start with the ones I'm focusing on for the first quarter of the year. So the first one I'm focusing on is the 2023 Collector's Heart by Heart and Hand. I got this last year. I got it as a kit, I believe. And yeah, so it came with the fabric. The called for fabric is Heartland Linen by Picture This Plus. It's a 32 count. That's where I got with that. And it was kitted with Cottage Garden Threads leather bound. So this beautiful like wine colored red. So I definitely want to get back to that, and that shouldn't take long at all. So I definitely want to finish that one. So that's one. The second one that I want to focus on is Little Pink Houses by Annie B's Folk Art. started this one a couple years ago. Hold on. The fabric I'm using is Fiberlicious Silver Moon 40 count. I am using all the called for floss, I believe. So that's where I got so far with that. So you can see I've got the heart done in the center. I've got one house outlined. So I do still have a bit to go with this one, but I don't think it's unreasonable to think I can get that done. It's so pretty. Now this next one, I definitely don't think I'll get done in these first 3 months of the year, but okay, let me back up a little bit. I actually picked 7 for this first quarter of the year, but this is not one I think I'll get done in this first quarter of the year. It's just that if I finish my other 6, I want to pull this one out and work on it because I would like to get a finish on this year. This might be a lofty goal. So this is kind of a maybe for me, but that's what I've got so far. So this is, let me show you the pattern first. How about that? This is the Bertha May Brown sampler by Chessie and Me. This was an exclusive through, I want to say Country Sampler. I was in their, one of their clubs. So there's that. So this is as far as I've gotten. But it was going pretty fast, and I think I can get a finish on it this year. So I do want to pull this out in this first quarter of the year. I'm not going to finish it in the first quarter of the year because it's just too much stitching. But I don't think it's unreasonable to think I can finish that, you know, because it's long and kind of thin, and the letters go pretty fast, and that's half of the chart right there. So technically I've got 7 slated for this first few months of the year, and I am using the called for Weeks Dye Works, Classic Color Works, and Gentle Arts flosses. So there's that. Also, in these first 3 months, I want to finish my Snow Magical by Brenda Gervais. I do have the freeze frame finishing piece here from Chantel's 141 Design Company, and I have been participating in the Stitch Along by Nicole Spohr. I am a little bit behind though, but I will get it finished. And here's what I've got. I was working on this yesterday. So yesterday I finished up the snowman's sweater, and I added some little trees here. So if I focus on this, I can get this done pretty quick. So that's another one that I want to focus on for these first 3 months of the year and get a finish on. And I love this floss style that I got from Chantel's 141. It came with the pattern and the freeze frame. I bought it all together as a kit. Also, in this first quarter of the year, I would like to finish Winter Cometh by Summer House Stitch Works. I'm stitching this on 40 count Newcastle Platinum. Here's what I've got so far. I'll show you that first. I just love the, you know, the like striped colors going through the design there. I am stitching this with 3 Classic Colorworks Belle Soie colors. They feel so soft. I'm using Attic Tea for the green. I'm using Babbling Brook for that like silver color, and Indigo for the blue. And I think it's a great match. So that's not what's called for, but I think it's a great match for what's charted here. So definitely want to get a finish on that. So let's see, that was 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the fifth one I want to work on this first 3 months here. This is called Frosty's Valentine by Annie B's Folk Art. So cute. Look at those snowmen and their little love letters. I'm stitching this on XGO 40 count old blue jeans using the called for floss. Well, that's all I got, but that's kind of a small pattern. I'll get that done. It's such a cute wintry Valentine-y pattern that I wanted to pull that out and get it done. And then number 6 for the first 3 months here is You Melt My Heart. So cute. This is also by Annie B's Folk Art, and I'm doing this big one here with the snowman. I love how there's like a scene in the negative space inside the snowman. And I think I dyed this fabric. And I am using 1/2, so it's definitely a 40 count. And that's what I've got so far. So those are my 6 for the first 3 months of the year. That's what I would like to get finished during the first 3 months of the year. Let's continue with the rest of my 24. Technically that was 7 because I showed you the Bertha May Brown, but this one's also Valentine's, but I don't know if I'll be able to get all of these done in the first 3 months, so I'm pushing this off till the second quarter of the year. This one is called, this is another Annie B's Folk Art. Goodness gracious, it's the year of Annie B's Folk Art. This is called Love Always. And this fabric, I have no idea, but I know it's a 40 count. I've got a hanging thread here. That's what I got done on that. So that's another of my 24 and 24s. Another one that I would like to finish this year is a Brenda Gervais. Oh, where's the cover image? Here it is. Called Joy and Good Cheer. I'm stitching this on 40 count Picture This Plus Tyco. I must really love 40 count Tyco. I have a lot of projects on that. And that's what I've got. But it's not a very big project, so I don't think I'll have trouble finishing that this year. Sorry if I'm rushing a little bit. This video is getting kind of long. I'm trying not to bore anyone. Okay, this one is called Scissor Sampler. It is by Talon Emblem. I am stitching this on 36 count XG design in the color Rocky Mountain. I am using all the called for floss. I believe they're all DMCs. Such a pretty color palette. And I am using 2/2 on this one, even though it's a 36 count. I like my colors to be really saturated, so that's where I got on that. I definitely want that to be a finish this year. Also, I have, so this one was a stitch along with my friends. We started this a while back. I did not stitch on this at all this year, so I definitely want to finish it. This is called Things Unseen. It's a mystery sampler. It's a 3-part mystery sampler by Lizzie Kate. You have to buy all 3 parts. When you do, it totals to be this design here. You can get it from 1, 2, 3 Stitch. I am stitching it on a 32 count because it comes with buttons, and I wanted to make sure the buttons would well, it doesn't come with, you have to purchase the buttons separately, but I wanted to make sure that the buttons would fit in the proper places, so I did buy the button pack. I am stitching this on 32 count Ren, picture this plus. I am using all the called for Weeks Dye Works. I think it's all Weeks Dye Works, yeah, all Weeks Dye Works colors. And I definitely want to get this finished. Some of my friends finished it a while back. I know my friend Holly did for sure. It's just so pretty. So this is going to be a little bit of a stretch, but I'm ready for the challenge. I would like to finish it this year. You know, it was a special thing that we all started together. I know that I started it with Alexis, My Amazing World. I think we had a hashtag. I think it was Things Unseen Sal. And yeah, I really dropped the ball on that one, so I want to get back to that. Oh, this one I got as the exclusive last year when I went to Stitch Away, that's hosted by Keepsakes in January. This is from Judy Whitman of JBW Designs. I know this is available to everybody. It's called Bluebirds of Happiness. It is just a stunning pattern. I am stitching it using all the called for floss. I'm stitching it on 40 count Freeze by Atomic Ranch. And it is just stunning. So that's where I definitely want to finish this one. It was fun. I brought it to StitchCon this year. A bunch of people were stitching it. A bunch of people were starting it. We did a group picture with Judy Whitman. And I don't want to let that one go by the wayside. I definitely want that one to be a finish as well. Oh, this one's so cute. This one is called The Little Dog. It is by Crochet Go-Go on Etsy. That's what it looks like right there. I did change the dog to look like my dog Daisy. And I'm not sure what this fabric is, but it's adorable. And so you can see I changed the dog's color to look like Daisy. So that's where I'm at with that. I just think that's so fun. So I would definitely like to get that finished. I love it on this like teal aquamarine fabric. And I am using all the called for DMCs except for the ones obviously that I changed to make it look like Daisy. All right. Thank you for bearing with me as I put everything back in bags. All right, this is a blue flower. I started this so long ago. I definitely want to get it finished. It is called Huckleberry Farm. It is gorgeous. I've seen so many people finish this. My friend Sally finished it a while back. She stitched it on a fabric from Fabrics by Stephanie, and hers turned out so beautiful. I'm stitching mine on a color and cotton fabric in the color Mocha. It's a 40 count. I find it very interesting that this color is called Mocha because it's purple. And that's where I'm at with that. So I did a center start for this one, and I do have quite a bit of stitching to do still, but this one has lingered so long that I definitely want to get a finish for this one this year and get it out of my WIPs and get it on my wall because it's stunning. I love the animals in this. You got a bear down here, you got a bear up here. It's beautiful. So that is definitely one I'm going to be finishing this year. So even though like I finished 42 things last year, I think my finishes are probably going to be less this year just because I have a lot of bigger things that I want to focus on and get done. This was my birthday start a couple years ago, maybe last year. This is Night Walked Down by the Blue Flower. Oh, that's upside down. I am stitching this on 40 count Jamie's Kilt by Fabrics by Stephanie. And there I am. Again, another one that has a lot of stitching to do, but I'm going to make a push. I'm going to make a push and I'm going to get it done. So because I'm tired of having all of these projects with such sad starts. I need to get them finished. All right, we're getting there, folks. Okay, this one is another one from Summer House Stitch Works. This one is called Summer Refreshes. So the same kind of deal as the winter one, but summer themed. This one is on Color and Cotton 40 count Ophelia. And that's where I got with that one. And I did another conversion, another Belsois conversion, Classic Colorworks. I am using Blue Heaven, 3 Alarm Fire, and Beanstalk for my colors. And I think it's a great conversion. I think it really matches the colors on here. So that is Summer Refreshes. So I'll definitely be working on that in the summer. With only 3 color changes, that one shouldn't be too bad. Shouldn't be too hard. Okay. Oh, I love this one too. I love them all. Pink Sparrow Sampler by With a Needle and Thread. Let's see. I am stitching this on 40 count Creme Brulee by Tabby Cat. I am using all the called for floss. I did do a center start on this one. And that's, sorry for the wrinkly fabric, guys. That's where I got with this one. It's upside down. There we go. There we go. So, yeah. Again, I have a lot to do, but this is a little bit of a smaller sampler, so it shouldn't be too bad. And I just love that fabric. All right, next I have, so this is when I started at StitchCon, not this past year, but the year before. My friends and I fell in love with this pattern. It is Meditation Garden by Jan Hicks Creates. The picture does not do it justice. The model there was what sold us. The model was stunning. It was brilliant. The colors were amazing. I am stitching this with all the called for DMC. I am stitching it on a 36 count Sea Glass by Fortnite Fabrics. Some of my friends have finished this as well. I want to finish it too. It goes this way. And I just love that the borders change like every so often. So I know my friend Milka was using the hashtag no more boring, or just say no to boring borders, I think it was. Just so pretty. So I have some lofty goals for myself this year, but these are projects that I have had lingering that I don't want to waste any more time with. I want to get them done. So, you know, if I finish, like I said, I'll have my 6 focus projects for that quarter. But if I finish one, I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to be like, well, I'm done with that. No, I'm going to keep working on things that I want to get done. This next one is called We're All Mad Here. This is from Pine Mountain Designs. It's an Alice in Wonderland themed pattern. I am stitching this on 40 count Mayflower. I think this is a fox and a rabbit color. I'm not positive. And that's where I got with it. And I'm pretty sure I'm using all the called for floss for that one too. So cute. We're almost there. Oh, goodness. Okay. My next 24 and 24 is another Brenda Gervais, Be Ye Thankful. This one's closer to a finish. This one is being stitched on 40 count Rustic Drab by XG Design. And that's where I'm at with that. I am using all the called for floss. So that one shouldn't be too hard to finish. It's a small pattern and it won't take too long. All right, oh, I started this one a while back. This was a stitch along, I believe. Yeah, it was from Frosted Pumpkin. It is, oh, where's the cover photo? Hold on, I'm going to pull it out of the sleeve here. It is called Little Red Riding Hood Parade. Oh, I hope I can find the cover image. Here it is. Okay. Not the best color quality because I printed it, but there it is, Little Red Riding Hood Parade. It's so cute. I have a thing for like fairy tales, like Alice in Wonderland and Little Red Riding Hood. I did purchase the kit, so this is a 28 count. It's my only 28 count. 28 count Spice Picture This Plus. Like I said, I purchased it as a kit, and I am using all the called for floss, and that's where I got. But I would like to get this one done because it's so cute. And Frosted Pumpkin designs are just so fun, so whimsical. I used to stitch so many more Frosted Pumpkin. I would like to stitch more Frosted Pumpkin just because they are so much fun. All right, next I have Grimm's Haunt by Picture This, or Plum Street Samplers. I got this in that box from Kitten Stitcher last year, and I worked on it a bit this year, and I made really good progress. So I definitely think that one could be a finish this year. I am using all the called for floss, and I have no idea what fabric that is. I feel like it's Latte by Fiber on a Whim. I know it's a 40 count. Sorry if I'm rushing a little bit, but this video is almost 2 hours long. All right, the next I have the Salem Sisters Apothecary by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And I didn't get to work on this at all this year, but I definitely will next year. I do like it. This is a monochromatic piece. I lied. I told Sarah W. that my Dasher and Dancer was my only monochromatic piece. I'm a liar. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Sarah. Apparently I have two. This is being stitched on Needle Bling Designs Butter Crunch. This is a 32 count, so I am using 2/2. And that's where I got with that. So I would like to finish that because I do have the finishing piece for this. So this is definitely one that I want to get done next year because I would like to display it on my finishing piece. I've got 2 left to show you. Nope, 3. All right, next I have, this is another ambitious one. This is another Plum Street Samplers. This is Blackberry House. I am stitching this on 40 count pewter by Color and Cotton. I am using all the called for threads, except I did change out the gray. I forget what color it was. I think it was aged pewter, Gentle Arts aged pewter. I changed to a Roxy Floss Co. floss in the color Irony because the other one was not showing up on the fabric I chose. So I chose, like I said, 40 count, or is this a 46 count? No, yeah, it's a 46 count Color and Cotton pewter, and that's what I got. That's what I got. So that's another ambitious finish, but I can do it. I have faith in myself. And this is one of my oldest WIPs too. This was a gift from my children a while back. This is a Lindy Stitches called Tread Softly. That beautiful owl there. It says, but I, being poor, have only my dreams. I have spread my dreams under your feet. Tread softly because you tread on my dreams. Those colors. And I'm stitching with all the called for colors. So there's like, there's DMC. There is, it's all DMC, Dinky Dyes, and Weeks Dye Works. And I'm pretty sure this is a 32 count fabric. It's an even weave. So you can see I was working on that giant owl. This might be my oldest WIP. I have a feeling it is. And because my kids kitted up for me and gave it to me, I would like to finish it. I'm not loving the fabric it's on, but I'm gonna finish it on that fabric. So I don't wanna start it over again. And it's in a bag I made for myself. Isn't that cute? All right, and I have one more project to show you. Now this one, I'm going to work on all year. I'm not gonna give it like a quarter. I'm gonna work on it all year. This one is, I call it my heirloom piece. There is absolutely no reason why this is not finished yet. I just keep losing momentum. I'm going to finish this year. This is Let Love Rain by Teresa Kogut. In fact, as you know, I mentioned at the top of the show that today is December 31st. So it's New Year's Eve. I am participating in 12 by 12. Last year I did 12 new starts. I am not starting 12 things. I decided that I was going to work on this for 12 hours. Now, I'm not getting 12 hours today because it's already like super late. It's not super late. It's 6:30. Goodness gracious. I've only worked on this for 2 hours today. So I'm going to try to get 4 more hours in tonight and then work. So I'll have 6 hours for today and then I'll work another 6 tomorrow to make a total of 12 to give myself a good push on this and give myself some momentum going into the new year. So that's what Let Love Rain looks like. I started this with my friend Kirby a while back and we were doing great. We were plugging along and then I just stopped. Let me show you what I've got though. There I am. So I am stitching this on 46 count Fox and Rabbit Prehistoric. I am using all the called for colors except I think I changed the blue. I think so. But that's what it looks like so far. So you can see I did really well and then I just kind of petered out. So today for my 2 hours, I've been working on this tree here. So yeah, I would like to get 10 more hours on this and give myself a good jump start on this because I definitely would like to have this finished by this time of next year. It will be finished by this time of next year. So that is it. That is the last of my WIPs. Oh my goodness gracious. I hope that I never have a WIP parade this long ever again. That is, you know, for me, that is a ridiculous amount of WIPs. I would never judge anyone else on their number of WIPs. It is all what you are comfortable with, what makes you happy. This is a hobby. This is a hobby. This is what I do for fun. This is what we do for fun. So there should not be rules. There shouldn't be expectations. There shouldn't be judgment of other people. So I would never judge anybody else for however many WIPs you have. For me, I would be comfortable with a lower WIP count because as you could see, as I was going through, I was kind of sad when I was looking at some of those and seeing how little I had done on them. And how distractible I am apparently, where I start things and then I just get distracted and I don't finish them. So I would really like to turn over a new leaf in the new year. So I would love any encouragement you could give me on that front to help keep me going. And I am looking forward to getting some things done and on my walls so I can appreciate all these beautiful, amazing projects that I've started and that I'm going to finish. So with that said, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to go downstairs and hang out with my husband. My kids are out of the house because who wants to hang out with their parents on New Year's Eve? Not my kids. So my husband and my dog and I are going to hang out and enjoy a quiet evening at home watching TV and eating and ringing in the new year. So best wishes to all of you for a wonderful 2024. I hope you have lots of time for stitching and enjoying yourself, you know, spending time with friends and family and all of those wonderful things. So I'm going to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed my show. I hope that you will take a moment to subscribe and like my video. And I would love to hear from you and hear what your plans are for 2024. And yeah, all right, guys, take care and I will see you soon. Bye.